Hey there, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I reduce my waste on the road. So hi, I'm Vanina, and in this channel is all about imperfect low waste living. I also want to mention that this video specifically is more about how to reduce your single-use waste and plastic than reducing your carbon emissions. I will for sure make a video about carbon emissions down the road. Let's dive into the video and I will show you 10 ways on how to reduce your waste on the road. The first way that I try to reduce my waste is using a reusable water bottle in replacement of single-use plastic water bottles. One tip too is my partner and I always make sure to have multiple reusable water bottles filled up just for backup on the road, because you never really know when you're gonna have the time or a place to refill your water bottle, and it just really helps us curb that incentive to buy a single-use plastic water bottle. The second way I try to reduce my waste is using a thermos in replacement of single-use coffee cups that you see at cafes or coffee shops. I know because of COVID and everything, it's really hard to get that thermos refilled at cafes. So if you like coffee, tea, or a warm cup of anything, I highly recommend refilling it before you hit the road. It saves some money, and if you're just driving and feeling like you really need some caffeine, you already have it with you. One thing that I really personally like lately is slicing some lemon, ginger, and honey and adding some hot water, and it's just really soothing, especially for those colder winter days. So the third way I try to reduce my waste is by packing my own utensils, and that's to reduce those single-use plastic utensils on the road. And whenever I'm eating out, I'll just say, no utensils, please and thank you, but I always make sure that I say hello, how is that person's day, just before I make that request. Please note though that it's never perfect, and sometimes that person can forget, and that is a-okay. Try not to be frustrated at yourself or the other person, because keep in mind that this is maybe new for that person, and also maybe also a new habit for yourself too, and to just be patient, and that the more people that request to not have single-use utensils, it'll become more of a social norm. Especially during this time, to avoid more single-use waste, my partner and I are going to pack a meal, and also we always make sure to pack snacks. One thing that I highly recommend is to make sure that the meals and snacks are things that are good out of the refrigerator for at least how long you're doing your road trip. My go-tos for snacks are always trail mix, so chickpeas, and some sort of fruit. One thing that I really like is packing some ginger chews. I guess I really like ginger. It's really good for motion sickness, and I always just put these in either a reusable container, reusable bag, anything that I have on hand. I highly recommend packing snacks and meals. It'll save you a lot of money, and it's usually, I would say, also healthier too, and that way you can also reduce your single-use waste while doing that too. The fifth way is I always bring a toiletry kit, and I try to make sure that I have shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, and toothbrush, and a bar of soap. The bar of soap is actually what I forgot on the last road trip, but because I'm doing a video on this, I don't think I'm gonna forget. Hotels and motels do provide shampoo and conditioner. They're usually with 1 or 2 uses and are usually in those little tiny plastic containers. I also love that by bringing my own shampoo, conditioner, and soap, that I actually know what's already in my ingredients, and I know that it doesn't have any sulfates or parabens in them. The sixth way is I bring a container to put my compost in, because especially when you're on the road, not everywhere is going to have compost. I always just make sure that I bring it with me, and when I get back home, I will compost it there. I'm a tea drinker, and I always like to bring my caffeine on the road with me, because it's really unpredictable whether it's loose leaf, and that if it comes in, hello, this is Bowie. Well, I guess I'll just do this during that. So this is very difficult, you know? I always make sure to bring my own caffeine with me. A lot of the time, tea bags will usually have plastic on the inside of the lining of the container or in the tea bag themselves. I know that more brands are trying to make sure that they don't have that in there. I also found that loose leaf tea can be really messy also, so lately I've really liked getting tea in the powder form. I really like this tea where the container is recyclable and that it's just really less messy. And it's also delicious too. It's a turmeric maca chai. I highly recommend it. It's super, super good. So the next one is I always like to do a little bit of research about what towns I'm going into, and I look at local restaurants just to see what the reusables are like. One little tip also is, especially if you're doing it through Google, to look through the latest reviews and the latest photos just to get a better sense of what they're doing right now. I also recommend if they have an Instagram to check that out too, because a lot of times restaurants will post customer reviews. Sometimes you can see tags that people that have also tagged them too, just to get a recent idea about what the situation is for that too. Also, I will put it in a little saved list on my trip. If I'm really feeling ambitious, put in a little note at the bottom saying to give an idea of what I would order there too, just to reduce that friction. But just know that it's not perfect. Just know that you're making an effort, and that's what really counts. So much similar to compost, not everywhere is going to have a recycling facility, so I always make sure to haul if I do get anything that is recyclable, to bring it with me too. Sometimes I might not have caffeine on me and I really need a drink or something like that too. I always opt for an aluminum container because aluminum keeps the same grade when it's being recycled. If I can't find aluminum, then I'll opt for a glass container instead. So the last one is I always make sure to bring a reusable bag with me. This is great if you're going to do some grocery shopping at a local grocery store, or if you want to get something at a local shop instead of opting for a paper bag or a plastic bag. Small produce bag containers are really helpful too. If you have already used that reusable bag, it just comes really extra in handy. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and gotten some inspiration on how to reduce your waste when you're on the road, and I'd love to know more from you if you have any tips or ideas or little tricks that you do when you're trying to reduce your waste on the road. So anyways, I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope that you're having an awesome day.